Hello, dear children. I'm moving on to next topic of the chapter structure of atom, shapes of atomic orbitals. Proceeding next to see different laws. Before that, we have to see the shapes of the atomic orbitals. Here we will only discuss about the shapes of s orbital, p orbital and d orbital. As I have already said that f or shape of f orbital is quite complicated, so we are not going to discuss about the f orbitals, but we will see how s, p and d orbitals are formed. Let's begin with s orbitals. The regions of three-dimensional space around the nucleus in which the probability of finding the electron is maximum are called orbitals. Okay, what are orbitals? The region of three-dimensional space around the nucleus in which probability of finding the electron is maximum 90 to 95% are called orbitals. For s orbitals, you should know that L will be 0 and M is equal to 0. What is L and M? I hope you remember, children. L is your azimuthal quantum number and M is your magnetic quantum number. For s orbitals, L will be 0 and M will be 0. And this shows that s orbitals have only one orientation. It is possible only when s orbital are spherical. S orbitals do not have any directional character. The size of s orbitals depends on the value of its principal quantum number, that is n. Greater the value of n, larger is the size of the orbital. You can see here 1s, 2s, 3s. So you can see here that greater the value of n, larger is the size of the orbital. Thus, it can be said that energy and size of s orbitals increases in the order 1s less than 2s less than 3s less than 4s and so on. If we will see the curves in the s orbitals, try to understand it. The probability of electron in one s orbital, concentrate on this diagram. The probability of electron in one s orbital is found to be maximum near the nucleus, and it decreases at the distance from the nucleus increases. For 2s electrons, also the probability is maximum near the nucleus, and it then decreases to 0 and then increases to a maximum and then decreases as the distance from the nucleus increases. The region where the probability is 0 is called nodal surface. Do remember, the region where the probability is 0 is called nodal surface, or simply we can call it node. Node also represents the point where the wave function changes its sign. So that we have not studied about the wave function. So from plus to minus, one orbital has no node, whereas two orbital has one node. And the probability density variations are shown in the terms of electron in this diagram. So what we now can explain about the s orbitals. Number one, in case of s orbitals, the probability of finding the electron at a given distance, that is r, from the nucleus is found to be identical in all directions. You can see that in all direction possibility of electron is found. This shows that s orbital is spherical, which is symmetrical around the nucleus. Okay, what I am explaining is the shape of s orbital is spherical and symmetrical. For s orbital, we know that L is equal to 0, M is equal to 0. This shows that s orbital have only one orientation, and it is possible only when s orbital are spherical. S orbitals do not have any direction character. So means what you have to remember that s orbitals are spherical in shape. Okay. Now let's see the shape of p orbital. It has been found that the probability of finding the p electrons is maximum in two lobes on the opposite sides. You can see two lobes in opposite sides of the nucleus, and the probability density function is 0 on the plane where the two lobes touch each other. You have to remember that the size, shape and energies of 3p orbitals are identical. They differ only in their orientation. If we have to draw p orbitals, let's I'll draw. First, see that for p orbital, L will be L is equals to 1. What will be the magnetic quantum number value? M will be +1, 0 and -1. Okay, for s orbital, L and M both was 0, but for p orbital, L is equals to 1, then M will be +1, 0, -1. Thus, p orbitals have three different orientations which are designated as px, py, pz. Let's draw px. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. Okay, if I am saying px, so the two lobes will be drawn on x-axis. Now let's draw py, x, y, z. And I am going to draw py. So this is your py. Now let's draw pz, x, y, z. This is your pz. Okay, so you can see that thus p orbitals have three different orientations which are designated as px, py and pz. The electron density in px, py and pz. In py it is maximum along the x-axis. In py it is maximum along the y-axis. And in pz it is maximum along the z-axis. Okay, thus p orbitals have directional character. Greater the value of n, larger the size of p orbital. The energy and size of p orbitals increases in the following order. See the order. 2p is lesser than 3p, is lesser than 4p, is lesser than 5p, and so on. And for a given principal quantum number, the orbitals px, py, pz have equal energies. When we will draw px, py, pz, we will give the equal energy to all the three orbitals px, py, pz. And this having equal energies Such orbitals are called degenerate orbitals. Don't forget this. I'm going to use this term again and again. Okay, so such orbitals which have equal energies are termed as degenerate orbitals. This is your px, py, pz orbitals. Now let's move on to shape of d orbitals. For d orbitals, L is equals to 2. First see how it is coming 5 orbitals. For d orbitals, L is equals to 2. What will be the value of M? M will be plus 2, plus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here it comes 5 orbitals. Okay, from magnetic, whatever the number of magnetic quantum number is, same number of shapes and orbitals will be of that particular. And 2 L0, L is equal to 0 means s orbital, L is equals to 1 means p orbital, L is equals to 2 means d orbital, L is equal to 3 means f orbitals. Few are simple things that you will keep on practicing, and this will be remember, then you will learn it thoroughly. So try to understand it. Now let's see. Here we were discussing about the shape of d orbitals. Okay, L will be 2 and M will be plus 2, plus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. Thus you can see that there are 5 possible orientations of electron cloud, and these are designated as, for S it was only S, for P it was Px, Py, Pz, and for D you have to remember D, dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, dz square. Okay, so 5d orbitals are designated as dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, and dz square. Let's see, and you have to remember that the for a given shell, these 5 orbitals have equal energy and they are called degenerate orbitals. Whenever equal energy orbitals, they will be degenerate orbitals. Whenever we will draw the d orbitals, we will again draw like this. Degenerate means all have equal energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, dz square. Okay, this will be your d orbitals. Now let's see the shape of d orbitals. dxy, axes are clear. See, xy. So one lobe will be between x, y, dx, and this is dy. dzx, dyz, dx square minus y square, dz square. Let me also draw all these diagrams. Let's draw it. You can draw with me in your copy. Okay, let's draw dxy. So for first we will take xy axis, xy, and we are going to draw dxy. dxy. dyz, take this x as y and z. This is dyz. Let's draw dxz. xz means one will be x and one will be z. So it is easy. Bilobal structure. This is zx. Now let's draw dx square minus y square. One will be x, one will be y. This will be on the axis, not in the mid of the axis, on the axis, and this is your dx square minus y square. Okay, and the different orbit diagram of dz square. dz square. So one will be z x, the dz square, and here we will show this like a spherical. This is your structure of d orbitals. Okay, this was all about the structure of s, p and d orbitals. If any further nothing else has been given in your book, if in questions if there will be any other topic about shielding effect and all, then I will discuss with you all what is a multi-electron atom, what is shielding effect. If the question will come, then I will discuss, but it is not given in the description in your book. Now let's move on to next topic, that is Pauli's exclusion principle. This says that no two electrons within the same atom can have the same values for all the quantum numbers. All the quantum numbers are 4 quantum numbers: n, principal quantum number; L, azimuthal quantum number; M, magnetic quantum number; and spin quantum number. So Pauli has made the principle. He said that no two electron within the same atom can have the same values for all the 4 quantum numbers. Means N, L, M, S will not be same for any two electron, because if one is where the difference can come, it will come in S, in the spin of the electron. As you know that was when electron spins, one goes in clockwise and other goes in anti-clockwise. Okay, so no two electrons can have same position and energy in an atom. Therefore, no two electrons of an atom can have same value for all the 4 quantum numbers. If two electrons in an atom have same value of N, L, M, definitely the value of the spin quantum number will be different. Thus, if one electron has plus half, other will have minus half. And value and the spin will be opposite. Now let's see what is the application of this Pauli's exclusion principle. With the help of this principle, it is possible to calculate the maximum number electrons in a shell, subshell and orbital. Okay, the most important application is that with the help of this principle, we can calculate the maximum number of electrons in shell, subshell and orbital. Number 2, it is possible to calculate the number of subshells in a shell. Okay, the shell is further divided into subshell, and it will be easy for us to understand or to know the number of subshells with this Pauli's exclusion principle. It is number 3, it is possible to calculate the number of orbitals in a subshell, and that the maximum number of electrons in an orbital is 2. We have to remember that every orbital maximum only 2 electrons can remain there, and the both the electrons will always have a opposite spin. One will show the clockwise and other will show the anti-clockwise spin. And with the help of this principle, it is possible to write the values of all the quantum numbers for all the electron of an atom. Let's do one example. I am giving you a question. Calculate the number of maximum electrons in L shell. L means KLMN. L means n is equals to 2. See here, for n is equals to 2, for n is equals to 2, L will be 0 and 1. For 0, M will be only 0. And for 1, it will be plus 1, 0, minus 1. Okay, in this 0, this is one orbital, 2 electron of opposite spin. In this one again, 2 electron in opposite spin. For 0, 2 electron opposite spin. For minus 1, 2 electron of opposite spin. So count the electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So total number of electrons will be 8. Let's do one more question. Calculate the number of maximum electrons in D subshell. Okay, that was L shell. Now I am saying D subshell. Subshell means L is equals to 2. For L is equals to 2, value of M will be plus 2, plus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. In all, 2 electrons with opposite spin. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Total 10 electrons. So from Pauli's exclusion principle, we conclude that maximum number of electrons in an orbital will be 2. Okay, and both will have different spin. This only Pauli has given, that no 2 electrons within an atom can have the same values. Number of subshell in a shell means if number of shell is n, so subshell will be same n. For 1, subshell 1. For shell 2, subshell will be 2. For shell 3, subshell will be 3. Number of orbitals in a shell, n square. Maximum number of electrons in a shell, 2n square. And n is the number of shell. This was all about Pauli's exclusion principle. More questions are given in your book. I will like you all to go through it. It will take some time. I am not saying it is very easy. As soon as you will understand every aspect, then it will be very easy for you. And on tips, you will be able to solve the questions. Now, let's see the rules of filling of electron in atoms. First, we will understand this filling of electron. Then I will explain the Aufbau principle. So get ready with your register and pen, and we are going to see the filling of orbitals in an atom. Draw in your copy. Whatever I am saying, draw that. 1 ball, 2 ball, 3 ball, 4 ball, 5 ball, 'My screen is showing this much only. SPDF. Okay, now let's, in the first, this is n is equals to 1, n is equals to 2, n is equals to 3, n is equals to 4, n is equals to 5, and 6, 7 also you can draw. Now see, let's fill it. 1s, in n is equal to 2, it will be 2s 2p. In n is equal to 3, start writing 3s 3p 3d. In fourth, n is equal to 4, 4s 4p 4d 4f. In n is equal to 5, 5s 5p 5d 5f. Do this fast. Make this fast in your copy. Now, very important thing, we are going to make an arrow. Let's start. Make an arrow cutting 1s, another arrow which is coming and only cutting 2s, third arrow which is coming and cutting 2p and 3s, next arrow 3p and 4s, next 3d 4p 5s, next 4d 5p, 4, next ये आगे बढ़ता जाएगा 5, and in the manner which we have cut it, now we have to write it. First, what we have cut, 1s, comma, then next is 2s, 2p, 3s. In the sequence which we have cut, that only I am writing in a line. 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s. Write till here only. We can write for all, but write till here only. Are you able to get this? Now this you have to learn by heart. 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s. The sequence. You will not get every time to draw this. Once you have drawn, you have taken out how it is coming. If you will have any confusion, then only you will draw it. The gist we have taken: 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s. This sequence I want you all to learn by heart, because anytime if I will give you to do the electronic configuration, you have to follow this, and you have to learn this by heart. That time you will not draw and get this. You have to learn it. 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s. At least learn this much. And you have to know, if we will talk about the energy. So least energy is of 1s. Like this we can make. what it indicates? The least energy is of 1s, so electron will first enter to 1s. Then next energy less is of 2s. Then that's why energy means energy is increasing in this way. In the right hand side, the energy is increasing. So whenever we will fill the electrons, first we will fill the electron in 1s, then we will put electron in 2s, and maximum how much? Only 2 electrons we can put in s orbital, maximum 6 in p orbital, maximum 10 in d orbital, and maximum 14 in f orbitals. Okay, for s2 p6, s2 p6, s2 p6, s2 d10 p6 s2. Okay, and this only is your filling of electron, is your Aufbau's principle. The orbital of various atoms are filled by either Aufbau principle or n plus L rule or Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Next I will discuss the Hund's rule. What is Aufbau principle? Aufbau, you have to remember that this is not the name of any scientist. It is a German word meaning building up. Okay, it is a German word and it means building up. The vacant subshell having lowest energy is filled first. Means 1s will be filled first. When this subshell is filled completely, then the filling of next subshell with higher energy starts. Okay, first we will not give one electron in 1s and one electron in 2s. No, 2 electrons completely will go in 1s. Then other 2 electron will go in 2s. Then next 6 electron will go in 2p. Okay, like this we have to follow. This is the energy chart. You can see the least energy is increasing up in upward direction. Means 1s is having least energy, then 2s is having more energy than 1s, 2p is having more energy than 2s, 3s is having more energy than 2p. Like this the energy is going upward. Okay, this is your Aufbau's principle about the filling of electrons. Next is Hund's rule for maximum. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. This rule says that in case of filling degenerate orbitals, degenerate means same energy orbitals, all the degenerate orbitals have to be singly filled first and then only pairing has to happen. See here. Suppose I am filling electron in this 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3. 6 electrons are to be filled. 2 will go in 1s2. This is correct. Then next 2 will go in 2s2. The next 2 electron, we will not fill it completely in one orbital. First we have to fill it singly. Then we will make it double. And spin, for spin also we have to remember, first we will fill with clockwise and then we will fill it with anti-clockwise. So this is correct. First one is correct and second one is wrong. And here you can see that spin is changed, so this is also wrong. Same spin we have to fill, either clock or anti-clock, that we can select by our own. We can make one habit of filling the electron either in clockwise or in anti-clockwise. But what we have to remember, first we will make it singly filled, then only we will start doubling it. Why? Because the element becomes stable when it is half filled or completely filled. By filling singly we can make it half filled, so it will be more stable, and if it is completely filled it will be stable. So this is Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, that in empty orbitals, first we will singly fill the orbitals, then we will doubly fill the orbitals. So this was all about your different rules and principles. Next is filling of electrons in different orbitals, and I will like you all to learn thoroughly this, what we have find out: 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s. Learn it by heart and start messaging me in the inbox so that I can know that you are ready for to learn the filling of electrons. And this was the second last topic of this chapter. This chapter is over. We have to do only practice of filling of electrons. Okay, so 5-minute topic is left. I am leaving it because I want you all to learn this and then start filling the electrons. So as soon as you learn it, start mentioning in the comment box so that I can know that many of you have learned. Then I will, on that day only, I will tell you. When many of you will show me that you have learned this sequence, then only I will tell you about the filling of electrons. And as this chapter is over, from next turn I will start chemical bonding and molecular structure. Okay, so after completing this, we will proceed to chemical bonding and molecular structure. Keep on doing the exercise portion also, and learn this sequence of filling of electrons, and let's meet in the next lecture.